All right, I think we are live. Yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Grand Rising. So happy to be here again today with Tryon Moeller. We have a very special YouTube video planned to discuss our unique framework, and we're going to start basically teaching it right here on YouTube. So definitely lock in with us, and it's going to be a good time. Just real quick, if I can introduce myself, my name is Myesha Francis. I'm an artist, I'm a teacher, I'm a curator, and most of all, I'm a coach for creatives. I help artists and conscious creatives to reach their highest creative and earning potential. And Mr. Moeller is going to introduce himself.
Yep. Hello, everyone. I'm Tron Mahler. I am a facilitator, coach, and trainer. I work with entrepreneurs and people to help them be reach their potential, to learn and to grow, so that they can be in their highest form of their human existence.
Awesome. Thank you, Tron. So we're going to jump right into it, y'all. Today, we're talking about our unique framework, which we've created for business for conscious creatives and artists. And the unique framework is Divine, Divine. And today, we're going to jump and really teach the D, the development part. So really excited about it. That's the piece, the development part is the piece that I'm really heavy on, because we're specifically talking about your development as an artist. So without further ado, we're going to let Tron take it away
Yeah.
and talk about the development piece.
Yeah, so thank you again, Myesha, and I love the whole concept that was created, and it definitely your brain trust around divine. And this first section in develop, just want to dig deeper into that, more so even into exploring and understanding your voice as a creative, as you talked about, that is so key and so important for artists and creators. So just want to ask you this: when you talk about, voice, right? When you say as a creative, as an artist, what would you say, how would you define voice? Right? How would you define voice?
Perfect, because thank you. That's the perfect question to start with, because an artist's voice, right? We're visual, right? So you're creating something visual or something tangible. So you're not really speaking it unless you're a singer or a writer or something like that. But as a visual artist, your voice is really your message, your succinct message to the world. Exactly what you want to say visually to the world.
Good. And so with that, you said, you talked about like getting it out there, right? So like, what are some of the biggest challenges that most of those creators have with, exploring their voice, with understanding their voice? What are some of those challenges? What are some of those obstacles that they have?
Well, the first obstacle I would say is bringing a lot of intention to your work. So a lot of artists, we just tend to have an idea and then we paint it or we see it. I remember somebody said the other day she saw a rooster, she just started painting the rooster, which is fine. That is fine. But if you know that you were put here on this planet to do this work and to help inspire and lift humanity, then you really want to bring more intention to your work, because you only have a finite amount of time. You don't have an infinite amount of time. So you want to bring, I think that artists really struggle with bringing intention to your work. So that's the first thing you want to do, is bring a lot of intention to your work. And real quick plug here, I have a free download called Ways to Bring Intention to Your Work. And you can download that on my website. It's at mfrancisgallery.com. It's under the links page. If you just click on that, I'll email that to you. It comes right to your inbox. So that's the first thing, finding ways to bring intention. And how do you do that? You take walks, you journal, you develop your sacred practices, which we'll talk about a little bit later. You find ways to release anxiety so that you can be present and with the work. That's another one, being present. Be present and with the work. So you really want to, those are things that you really want to unpack and unfold before you just start creating. And then you have all this stuff and it's not as powerful or as impactful as you would have liked it to be. And so I just want to say one more thing on that subject. A lot of times we'll see work that may not have the technical greatness, but it has so much passion and meaning that it's a
Mm.
worthy, a very, very worthy piece. That's because they brought that intention into it.
Got you. Yeah, yeah. It's just us. So we're gonna take our time. And so yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna take our time. There's no,
Okay.
let's
Yeah,
take our
because you know
time.
me, I get excited when I'm talking about these things. I know artists, I know how much I struggled as an artist, and I realized that I was just creating. I wasn't bringing intention, and you bring so much more power when you bring that intention.
Right.
Sure.
And you are lighting up, right? And so right, it's just you're lighting up as you're talking about those challenges and those things to work those challenges. You are, you're lighting up. So what's, so like this is your voice, right? This is
Yes.
what's happening for you as you're describing your voice or using your voice to help other people lift your voice. What's happening for you right now?
Oh, I just get excited because I know that it's that one message, that one word that sparks. So I teach gifted artists already. And so I know that
Mm,
it's just that one word or that one spark where they're blocked, right? They have artists blocked, and it's like, okay, no, let's go back. Let's set up some intention, and then they open up. And that opens me up because it helps other artists and creatives to open up, because it's a painful place to be in, that stuck, artist block. I don't know, what I'm doing, doubting. I don't want to go left. I don't want to go to right, up, down, and just sitting in doubt and darkness. But if we just peel back some of those curtains or layers and say, no, here you are, here's your voice. Let's open it up and you can come out. So it
mm.
makes me, to answer your question clearly, it makes me like, so like a fire begins to burn, so happy that I can see other people open up those curtains and get out.
Mm. So if I'm hearing you, so you're saying those dark places, right? Describe some of those things that help that when an artist goes to a dark place and can't write and can't paint and can't do those things, right? Describe what that looks like, and then describe how you brought yourself out of those places,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So that place feels, I would say it looks dark because, well, I can't say what it looks like, but I'll say what it feels like. It feels
Mm,
lonely, it feels isolating, it feels almost like a trap, because you know that you are looking at your skills and your things that you want to do, but you don't have a way to get them out. And even if you do
mm,
have supplies and materials, right, you don't have any direction. You don't know what you want to say in the world. You don't know. um you just feel lost and lonely, and it's
mm,
painful. And you don't even have the words to express, to tell people, you're in a funk, you're feeling some kind of way, and they're like, what's wrong? How are you going to say, I don't know what to paint? It's
mhm.
like, what is that? Other people who are not in that same space, they're thinking maybe somebody hurt you or something is hurting, but that does hurt. As an artist, I don't know what to paint. I don't know what to draw. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to create. I don't know the next dance move to make. That is a painful place to be as an artist. So, to answer your second question, some of the things, and this is what's in develop. And here's what I believe, here's where I'm not going to say believe, I know artists need to start with asking themselves the deep questions. What subjects,
Mm,
places, ideas, and things really call out to you?
mm,
What subjects, places, ideas, or things would you like to explore creatively? Because some things call out to you that you don't want to explore creatively. So, for instance, me, civil rights issues and children's rights issues really call out to me. But I have
mm,
rarely, if ever, I've only painted anything that has to do with uh, uh, civil rights or anything like that, maybe once. I painted two pieces of Dr. King because my daddy loves Dr. King. And that's over my entire 20 years of painting, right? Um,
mm,
I don't have any, you know, Most of my pieces have been once I understood and I knew what I was put here on the earth to do and to be and share in the way I was supposed to inspire. And my work has had a spiritual base. It has been all about
Mm,
sharing how I connect with spirit and inspiring others to connect with spirit in their way through my work. So
mm,
I have been very intentional about that. And even when I feel lost and lonely, I can go back because I understand what things really call out to me. And I understand what things I want to explore creatively. So, really, really getting down to that because there was one point, and I do want to share this real quick. I did a series
take your
called
time. Take your time. We take your time.
Okay.
We all right. Take your time.
And this is so relevant for artists. I did a show called the Red Trumpet series, and I painted a whole bunch of red. I painted a whole bunch of jazz pieces, but the continuing theme through it were red trumpets. And
Mm,
it was inspired by Louis Armstrong's song La Vie en Rose. And I thought it was just a great idea. It was a beautiful idea. I like jazz. I love jazz actually. But would I say that it was from the depths of my being?
mm,
No.
mm,
And I could have used that time exploring from the depths of my being. So not to, throw shade or, anything on those pieces, because yes, they were great and they were good, but I could have produced more power if I had brought more intention and knew exactly what called out to me and I wanted to explore creatively, if that
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
good.
when I did that, I finally did that and I did a show and I was scared. It was all abstract. I had never done a pure abstract show and the show
Hmm.
sold out because I brought so much intention to the pieces and I had a bidding war on one piece and I had one person crying and I got it. I was like, when you bring intention, you create
Mm,
and you paint what calls and really, really calls out to you, then it will connect and resonate with the people that it's for. The other pieces, they
mm.
like them, but it doesn't resonate. It doesn't deeply touch them. It just decorates their homes, which is great too, right? Yeah. So let me see if I have anything else. Oh, so asking the deep questions, right? There are other deep questions. What messages do you have to share or contribute to the conversation within yourself and within the world? So beginning to answer those questions in yourself, in your journal, and then bringing that
Mhm.
to your work. Who would benefit? Bringing all of that energy to your work. And then this is something that is really, really important. In what various mediums would you like to share your messages? So for artists, a lot of times as a painter, they say, oh, well, if you're a painter, you need to paint. No, if you're a creator, you need to create. There is a quote that says, a jack of all trades is a master of none. But the entire quote is, a jack of all trades is a master of none. However, a master of many is often better than the master of one.
Yes, I love.
So,
Go
that
ahead. Go
if
ahead.
artists knew that quote, it would free them. Don't be confined to, oh, I have to do painting right now. No, if your creativity is exploring and expressing through clay, maybe you bring a little clay disc to your painting or whatever. For me, I had a period where I'm expressing through wrapping these stones in copper and making bracelets. I don't sell them, but it was an expression I needed to bring forth to, get that out. So when you're feeling lost and lonely, don't feel like you have to stay confined to painting or clay or drawing. Push, explore,
Mm.
feel free, And that's the message all artists need, I think, because it's not really shared.
Repeat that quote one more time, just in case nobody caught it. Repeat that quote one more time.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes a master of many is better than the master of one.
Yes, I remember when we were just brainstorming and just having our space, right, our sacred space time together, and you quoted the first part. I said, okay, yeah, I've heard that piece, and then you quoted the whole, put it in the whole context and what it is and the whole thing, and I went and looked it up. And I was like, yes, this quote is just like, this is the bomb. This works. This is, this says, this speaks to me, right? This resonates with me. And I was like, I wrote it down and I said, I gotta use it. I gotta use it over and over because, it's always just, jack of all trade, it just spoke and it opened up a piece of me that was good, that was
Yeah,
good.
because it makes you feel like if you're multi-talented, that something is wrong with you. But multi-talented is actually very powerful. And if you do multiple things, it's actually very powerful. And so it just opens up when people who have all these things going on in their brain, they hear that it just breaks us open. Because people, people who are one track mind, they like to, not one track mind, one thing. They want to focus on one thing for their entire life. That's not bad, but there is nothing wrong with the other people who want to focus on 10 or do 10.
Mm.
And when I thought about it, I sat back and I thought about it one day. And I think about like that. I like business people. I like Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is a rapper. She's an actress. She has a
Mhm.
jazz CD. She's a real estate mogul. Like, same thing with
Mm.
Bishop T.D. Jakes, or you can name it, Oprah. Oprah. She's an actress, a TV host. She has a
Mhm.
school. It's like, so artists in particular are masters of many and should lean into that. Teachers like you, like me, masters of many, many subjects, lean into that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hear you, like you did this in the last part of your question. You start talking about the different mediums, right? So a conscious creative, you don't necessarily have to get locked into one medium as a means to be able to express your voice. Say more about that. Say more about that. What that means. How's that work? Say more about that.
um, no, if you like to, if you are a creator, then you have everything in the universe to create from. And if you get locked into one thing, then you really kind of stifle your creativity. Even as a
Mhm.
painter, let's just say painting is your thing. But if you get locked into one type of painting and don't explore, you like acrylics, you don't ever explore watercolor, or you don't ever explore oils, or you don't ever explore encaustics, wax
Mhm.
painting, or you don't ever explore. I remember when pan pastels came out. It's this method of just taking these pastel cakes and making paintings, with these sponges. Then you get stuck and you don't give yourself, you don't give spirit room to just do what it can do and want to do through you. But also, for me, I'm known as a painter, but clay ceramics is my first love.
Mm.
When I put my
Mm.
hands in that clay, and I remember my teacher when I studied abroad, she was like, it's in your soul. And what I sat down and thought and I felt in myself was that what's in my soul is that I like to use my hands and form things with my hands. So even with my paintings, I'll put the brush down at some point and I'm just in it. I'm just in it. So you have to explore to figure out what exactly is your thing in coming through you. I like sculpting things in copper. I just bought a whole new spool of copper while I still have multiple things sitting on the easel. And
Mhm.
so it just allows you to open up. It's so, to me, it's huge for an artist to do that, to explore and work in different mediums and bring whatever mediums you're working into your work. I already have an idea now to bring copper forms and shapes and just maybe glue them on a painting.
Hold up. So you mean to tell me that it's okay to be able to have multiple paintings still there and then jump over to another medium and work on that too? Are you telling me that's okay as a creator?
Yep. Yes,
Unpack that, unpack that, unpack
yes,
that.
yes, because um listen, first of all, there is freedom and creativity. There are no walls. And for me personally, I get bored. Like if I get stuck on a piece, Then I get frustrated. And I used to get frustrated. Instead of getting
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, I back up from it. But that doesn't stop the creative burn that's flowing through me. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I might be
Mm-hmm.
stuck on
Mm-hmm.
this painting. Then I come over here and I start wrapping up some wire or some copper. I might be
Mm-hmm.
stuck on this copper. Then I go create a food dish. I throw all kinds of ingredients
Mm.
together, pumpkin spice and and cream cheese and all kind of, just, I know that goes together, but I might even add jalapeno and cayenne in that cheesecake to see what I'm going to get.
Mm.
So, and then once I get that burst of flavor, I'm like, and maybe I'll add some lime, right? I get that burst of lime. I now figured out the green I need to bring to the painting. So
Mm.
yeah, that was a roundabout way to say that it all feeds each other. And yes,
So
it's okay because you have to. You don't want to get stuck and and bored. You want to move around a little bit. Not all the time, right? Not all the time, but yeah, that's definitely okay.
gotcha. Yeah, I want to go back to the kind of the part that you hit on. Just a few minutes ago, you hit on that this feeding of your creativity, right? As understanding your voice, right? I want to go back into, what are some of the things that you use to be able to help feed your creativity? I just want to kind of get back into that part, right? You were saying you look at children's rights things, but walk us through either when you're already creating and you just think it's a flowing, and then when you're running to that block, and then how do you get that flowing a piece again? I just want to be clear on that so that people can grab that, creative can grab that.
Well, actually, that's the second part to develop for me, which is in that I share, which is developing sacred practices to deepen your bond and devotion to the divine, which then the divine within, and in order to enhance your creative expression. So what do I mean by that? Isolation. I isolate, like if I'm in a block or before I work, or if I'm in a block, or if I get to a place where I'm not able to create as much, I isolate a little bit so that I can then journal, meditate, do the things that are going to bring me back to balance and calm, right? Because I
Mm.
always want to paint or create from a place of calm. So, but meditation is big. One of the things that I've done recently that has exploded my creativity is I've started doing white tantra, which is deepening your devotion to self and deepening your bond to self. Most people know about red tantra, which is deepening your devotion to your partner. White is not about a partner, it's just you and divine. And you're using the same energy, Kundalini energy, which is
Mm.
sexual energy, but you're using that energy to then create.
Mm.
So powerful. Like it blew me away. So I've worked with a really amazing brother, Justin, and I've done 3 rounds. It's 321. I did 321-day challenges. And when I bring that practice and intention and, having unpacked all of these things and asked myself the deeper questions, what explodes, what comes out, up and out, up through those
Mm.
chakras and out through the crown onto the canvas
Mm. Yes,
is
yes.
beautiful. I mean, it's things that you weren't even thinking to do. You weren't even thinking to explore. But that's when you're really allowing spirit to then just flow. So
Mm.
I've done other things. Like there is one thing I do that I really, really I stand by and I love doing it, and it's just visioning. So a lot of times when you're working, it's a feeling, right? You're feeling what your next move is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I walk around with a vision of a piece that I want to, I'm gonna say attempt to create, because it never really comes out how it looks in your mind. It
Mm.
comes out a little bit different. But I'm really big on visioning colors. I was just telling my friend yesterday, I am intentional about trying to catch sunsets
Mm-hmm.
at the lake. Um, and I think that that's really, really And it would, and for artists, it's powerful because your visions, you can flip flop them really like instantly in your mind.
Mm,
So, I think that's powerful. Like I'm looking at a piece one way in my mind, and then instantly I can just flip it and say, put blue, put a copper wire and just, create it in the air before I start working on it. So that's big. I
mm,
shared isolating, meditating, white tantra, journaling, visioning. Cacao is something that I just started doing, which is, so cacao is a sacred plant medicine in Maya culture, and it
mhm,
basically opens up your heart space. And so just sitting with that raw cacao in water, right? It's bitter, and then just allowing that feeling and that connection and bringing that feeling and that emotion
mhm,
into the work. It just, all of those practices just create such a sense of ease and being and allowing, you know,
mm,
if I was about to say, if I could teach, if I could do things 1000% my way, which is what we're doing, I would
mhm,
teach these things first, which is why it's D, it's in the development. Because if you can develop your sacred practices and build your creative business, your
mm.
creative life around that, man, so beautiful. And one more thing I want to share is being. And what I mean by that is just being, like just going to the park and just be, taking time to just be. If you have kids, it's cool. Go to the park, let them play, give them their bounds, and then you just be. And maybe all you're doing in that being is observing, not stressing over,
Mhm.
whatever, just being. Or just in the tub, just being. Or just giving you permission right now, y'all, to just be.
Just be.
Just be. I've had to do it. Okay, I'm lonely, I'm stuck, I'm blocked, or I'm getting ready to work and the fire is building, but I don't know what color I'm reaching for first. Just be. Speaking of
Mm,
which, another plug, I have a meditation, a color meditation on YouTube. I use it, I listen, I use this meditation for me.
mm,
Meditate before you do it, just be in that moment and then work.
mm. So
Mhm.
this is the last thing before we close out. This is the
Okay.
last thing I want you to, and we're gonna do on a walkthrough just briefly what you term in terms of meditation. So I want you to, I'm gonna have you, I want you to take 5 deep breaths,
Okay.
okay, in and out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay. This last question, if what is the last thing that you want to say to creatives that you haven't said yet, or that they should know about their voice? Let me give you one more deep breath in, breathe out. What should tell us this last things about creators understanding their voice? What should they know? What's popping up for you? What's resonating with you about creators in their voice?
Find your peace. Find your joy. Find the divine within and flow from it. Yeah. Find the divine within and flow from that, for sure. Mm.
See,
Yeah, that was good. When you
that's
get
it.
to that moment, it's almost like whatever comes out, it can't be wrong. And it resonates. It resonates with the people. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for, yeah.
And
So
that
y'all,
was our coachable moment. Y'all, Tron is has been my business coach for 2 years. And we're working together, sharing this and teaching artists and conscious creatives how to exist and be in this world at their highest creative and earning potential. So shout out. Thank you, Tron. If you want to work with us, you can work with us. We're so excited about this program, Business for Conscious Creatives and Artists, sharing this framework with you, Divine. And you can always reach out to us. You can learn more at mfrancisgallery.com/work-with-me. mfrancisgallery.com/work-with-me. We have some freebies below. I'll drop the links to the 7 ways to be intentional in your creative process. Trying anything you want to add? That was good.
Yeah, I don't know. As you were talking, just as you were talking, those closing. Did you hear that bird share with us their voice? There's nothing else the whole time.
Yeah.
But the bird at the last, he shared with us their voice. And I think that is just awesome. So thank you for allowing me in your space again every day. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Blessing.
Bye.